3, 2, and 1. Okay, so my first guest here today, before I say your name, I want to talk about how we actually met. We were on our way to, this is like 2 years ago, we're heading to Portland, and our mutual friend, Adam, asked me to come along for a stag, and I haven't met anybody. You guys are all new to me. There's like, I think 4 of us that went. And whatever, we go down there, and after we get there at night, in the morning, we're kind of seeing each other kind of face to face. And there you are sitting outside, and in this kind of really cool house, actually, like a heritage house. Your shirt off with your jean shorts on. Just kind of chilling. And I started talking to you, and what was really cool was the more I talked to you and I asked you kind of what you do, which is such a limiting question. You started talking about men and their feelings and so on, and you made it really comfortable for me to open up to you kind of what I had kind of gone through at that time. And we continued talking, and everything that you spoke about resonated with me, and I still see you in our neighborhood, and your approach is really unique, and it could be that sadly there isn't enough men that talk about their feelings and so on, and some of the things are so honest, and I think I was just talking to you offline before we kind of came on, and I'm going to paraphrase this. Actually, I don't have to paraphrase. It was something about when I look at fat people. Well, what was it?
Yeah, so basically what I had said was, I'm better than you because I'm not fat.
Perfect. What a great opening. So my guest today is Ryan Thomas, and Ryan, I really appreciate you coming on, and I want to get into this because this is something that men don't talk about, and some of the questions that we've talked about, I'm excited to kind of go into them, go a little bit deeper, and go understanding. So first of all, tell me a little bit about your background and how you came to the door of everything that you talk about now.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, I'll keep that real quick because we can go real deep with the story or real quick. So, the quick and dirty. I was in the Army for 11 years. During my time in the military, I struggled with sexual dysfunction. Didn't have any real support for how to work my way through that, and also some depression. Managed to scour the internet and get some solutions for my sexual dysfunction. Resolved my sexual dysfunction, and then in 2014, I'd been out of the Army for a little bit, and I wanted to help men in the ways that I had not been helped before. So then I started a sex coaching business and a sex podcast called The Intimate Lifestyle, which I'm not doing anymore. And yeah, and that's basically the quick and dirty of it. And that's sort of started me down this path of coaching. Now I focus a bit more on, it's a bit of a different style of coaching. So I was doing sex coaching before and running sex workshops. And during that time, I had been using sex to validate my existence as a man, and which I think a lot of guys do. Yeah. Once I realized that, if I'm having really great sex, then I feel great as a guy. That was, once I could identify how to feel solid as a man without needing the sex, then I realized, oh, that's what I was looking for. I was actually just looking for the confidence within myself. And then that sort of shifted. Now I realized, okay, well, I don't actually need to worry about sex. I actually want to target like the core beliefs and finding like internal power. And so that's sort of the transition from the military to sex coaching to now personal power coaching.
What's that journey? Like, is there a moment of surrender? Is there a moment that happens? Is it a day? Is it a week? Is it a weekend that you've had sex again for whatever the 100th time, and there's that feeling, and finally you've decided, like, I got to do something about this? Or is it a gradual thing? I say that because I only can refer to my instance where I had a moment of surrender, like, okay, I've got to do something with my life. I have to change something. And most people have that moment. Was it a moment for you, or was it like, I'm in the same situation over and over again, I need to change it?
Do you mean like when I was struggling with sexual dysfunction?
Yeah.
Yeah. There were a lot of little moments that led up to the final moment, which was the moment. So I had been struggling with involuntary ejaculation. So I don't want to say premature ejaculation because sometimes it was premature, sometimes it was just involuntary, like a minute or 2 minutes. Sometimes I would go 5 minutes, but then it would still happen without me having any kind of control over it, and that was really frustrating at the time. And then I had a partner, and I wanted to make a change, and I had said to her, I was like, hey, I want to try some different things in the bedroom to see if I can get myself back to, a place that, where I feel more confident. And she said to me, well, if I'm not enjoying having sex with you, then I'm not going to want to have sex with you anymore. So whatever it is that you're going through, you have to figure it out on your own. Yeah. But now here's the thing. If you removed the first bit of the conversation that I just said, like for a few minutes, and I just told you that little section of what I told my girlfriend at the time and what she said to me, people would say, what are you talking about? There's no context, right? I was not clear in my communication to her. So years later, even though in that moment I was eviscerated as a man, just brutal situation to go through. Because what I heard her say was, I don't enjoy having sex with you. You suck as a guy, and I'm just going to go fuck some other guy. Right? That's what I had heard, right? But years later, I had a conversation with her, and she's like, I told her, well, you remember that time that I told you that I was struggling with premature ejaculation and I wanted to try something different? She's like, oh, that's what you were saying? I thought you wanted to try some kinky shit in the bedroom. And I was like, if you wanted to do whips and chains and stuff and I wasn't having fun, then I didn't want to be part of that. So I was just telling you, I was like, hey, if you want to do some weird stuff in the bedroom, sure, maybe I'll try it. But if I don't like it, I'm not doing it. And so she actually had no idea that I was coming to her with that problem. Because for her, it was like, oh, whatever.
And you thought you had said what you had said, and she didn't hear what you had said.
Exactly, because I was not clear in my communication because I was so scared to actually own the issue. Yeah, there was a lot of vulnerability in actually saying, hey, I don't think I'm lasting very long in the bedroom. I don't think I'm performing all that well, and I'm scared that you're not having a good time. I want to try a few different things so I can last longer. Can you help me? Are you open? What are your thoughts, and are you willing to be there with me?
And so that starts your journey going through the process of healing that part and finding out other ways to not do that. And through that, you find out that you can teach other men.
Yeah. So
Give me a second. Keep moving the mic a little bit back from you. You have a very powerful voice.
Oh,
You're like
okay.
Pavarotti. There you go. Keep going now.
Right over here?
Yeah, go. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, is that better? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm also getting used to listening to my own voice as I'm talking right now.
You like that?
Yeah, it's a little different. Having my own podcast for 4 years and not having as good of a setup as this. So this is new. So I tried so many different things. I hadn't used any numbing cream, but I'd used self-hypnosis. I'd used different emotions. Like I tried jerking off beforehand. I had tried being really drunk. I tried distracting myself and looking at birds out the window, and that could work for a little bit. But eventually, it's like, hey, I got to be here in this moment with my girlfriend. I'd use anger. I'd get really, really angry, and that could actually hold it off for a little bit. But the anger would really distance myself from my partner, and then there wasn't really as much pleasure in it. I mean, the angry sex can be fun, but I didn't want to always be there. I wanted to be able to just have sex and not have to think about it, and not have to worry about it, and I could just be in the moment with her. So eventually I found the book, The Multi-Orgasmic Man. This was in 2010. And I started doing some practices, and I got to a point where I could start experiencing non-ejaculatory orgasms. And I was like, wow, this is great. Okay, cool. And then my sex life with that girl improved, even though she was the one who had hurt me in the first place. Not
intentionally.
Not intentionally. Yeah, exactly. Not intentionally. Because of my own piss poor communication. And I really do think that that's a huge problem, is that we have really piss poor communication because we're scared of being vulnerable and owning our emotions and communicating what's actually going on, that it creates miscommunications and ends up causing problems, which is exactly what had happened between me and her. But anyways, so I got that issue resolved, and then I was posted to a new city because I was still in the army, slipped into a depression, and then I started dealing with erectile dysfunction. I couldn't get hard. or I would get partially hard, or I'd be with a girl and I would start to get hard, but then I would lose it, or I just wouldn't get hard at all. Sorry, am I jumping too fast there?
No, this is great. Do you think the Army had anything to, or did
No.
you experience anything, or does it go back to childhood?
No, actually, when I was in my early 20s, when I was having sex, I didn't have any problems.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was actually, I would say that it was from, I think a big part of it had to do with the pickup artist world. That created a lot of anxiety around women.